Gareth, it's transfer deadline day, but we're talking about two departures from Adams Park, two players that played real significant roles for you. Let's start with Scott Kashket. You turned a League Two player into a Championship player. You must be so pleased with his progress and wish him all the best for the future.
Yeah, Scotty did all that himself. You know, he just gave him the platform to perform, and I mean, honestly, one of the first times it really hurts me letting two players go today, because they've played a huge part in the Wycombe Wanderers story. They're not just in the book. They've got their own chapters, these two, you know. And the Scott Kashket chapter is this boy who we were tipped off about, who came in and signed for absolute peanuts. You know, I'm sure Scott won't mind me saying this, but he signed for next to nothing, like a wage that you couldn't even believe in a football club. Because we had no cash at the time, he was desperate to get out of Leyton Orient. We took him, and honestly, it was a tip-off from Lee Harrison at the time and Andy Hessenthaler at the time, and he was not getting a chance at Leyton Orient for various reasons. And bringing him in, he was this shy little lad who had an enormous amount of skill and an enormous amount of pace, but he'd never put it all together. And I just thought that what he did in that first season was phenomenal for somebody who'd been really beaten up against the wall and really suppressed for whatever reason. He opened up, and my biggest pleasure with Scott Kashket was not the football side, but seeing the person develop over the years that he's been here. Honestly, he turned into this chirpy banter guy in the dressing room, and you know, when he first came in, he wouldn't say boo to a goose. Now he'd say whatever he wanted to anyone, and it was brilliant. You know, he really has played an enormous part, and I can't thank him enough, because I needed people. My career's not well been rosy and wins and particularly at the Championship now, and in the days of League Two and the days when we almost went out of the league and we needed to, you know, we started the season once, we didn't win for a few games. I remember we were down the bottom of the league. You know, Scotty went on an unbelievable run one season. His family's great. You know, his mum plays a big part in his life, and she was instrumental in his moves, and we were in contact with her. And I just I know that Crewe are getting one heck of a player. You know, and I think that. What we have to say is that we're just proud to have played a part in Scott's journey, because he's a great player, a great lad. It was the right time. I think, you know, the route to the playing and the starting 11 was becoming more and more difficult for Scott with the way I'm playing and with system change, and I just wish him all the best and thank him for everything he's ever done here, because he'd forever be a part. And Scotty Kashket scores another goal, song won't be forgotten, and he's always welcome. You know, always welcome back, and like everyone here.
It'll definitely be quieter around the place without Scott. And somebody else who had a big presence around the training ground, but in a completely different way, was Alex Samuel, who has earned a fantastic move for him up to the SPL.
Yeah, and again, difficult for me to find words, because words aren't enough for both of these two. I've said that. We wouldn't have been promoted to League One. We wouldn't have been promoted definitely to League without Scotty, and definitely to the Championship without Alex and Scotty. Alex came in on trial three and a bit seasons ago. His ankle was a mess. His foot was a mess. He'd been again left on the side, and not really considered. That was me and Dobbo playing against Alex Samuel. We saw him playing against us for Stevenage back in the days, and we always knew that this floppy-haired blonde kid who would run after absolutely anything would be one of our future targets, as like Curtis Thompson. The reason he's here is because we played against us so well. Alex did the same. We don't forget a name. We definitely don't forget that face. And Alex coming in on trial was a brilliant moment. You know, he really grabbed every opportunity with both hands. He's a fantastic human being. His faith that he brings with him, you know, he's a very religious boy, and he's been prominent in starting the boys all You know, they've got a little prayer group, which is brilliant. There's this togetherness. Honestly, Alex never ever once moaned ever. He did everything that was possibly asked of him. He worked his socks off every single day to try and improve. And I would, you'd be proud of those if they were your own children. You know, he's that much of a guy. Had it tough, you know, coming through, but always had faith and always had that spirit that he would succeed, and he certainly has succeeded. You know, he's got a great move to Ross County in the SPL. I think his first game could be against Celtic, which would be unbelievable for Alex. You know, he just was the focus point of a lot of attacks that season we got promoted. You know, when I couldn't play Bayo, I played Alex, and they shared it up, those two, that season. And as I say, we wouldn't have been promoted without Alex Samuel in the team, and I'm really glad that, again, somebody who was told probably they may not have a career, had a career. Both of those players played in the Championship for Wycombe Wanderers. Scott Kashket scored our first ever goal for Wycombe Wanderers in the Championship. Alex Samuel at Wembley, you know, he ran his socks off, you know, to get the playoff semi-finals. You know, he was just blew Fleetwood away, you know, with his running, and again, like I say, they've got their own chapters. They haven't just got their own pages, these two. They really have, and it really, really does pain me to let these two go, but it's the right thing, because there's no way I wanted to frustrate them and end the relationship on a sour note with them not playing and coming to see me, knocking on my door saying, why am I not playing? Gives a chance to Volksy, you know, Brandon, you know, Gareth McCleary's playing up front, TJ Dubois. So I think Scotty and Alex will both go, you know what? Give those boys a chance. We'll move on. We'll go and play our trade somewhere else. Go on TJ, go on Volksy, go on Brandon. They'll be like that, and of course go on Bayo, who's been there for them too as well. So thanks guys, you've been awesome. I know you'll be watching this, and we couldn't have done it without you. Huge part, always welcome, and God bless. Thanks to you.